What's up guys, Raymond here. Today I'm going to show you a little issue that is apparently somewhat common on N5X engines. And that issue is the clutched alternator pulley, which you can see right there. And the issue this can cause is vibration at idle or a weird noise. I've seen some videos where it actually sounds like the engine is knocking. It's so bad. The point of a clutched alternator pulley is so that it can freewheel independently from the rest of the pulleys and the crank pulley. And this is a good thing for gas mileage, engine efficiency. You get more life out of your harmonic damper. And actually the 335D does not come with an overrun pulley on the alternator, and they have a lot more harmonic damper failures. And so a popular mod on the 335D is to install this clutched alternator pulley to get more life out of that harmonic damper. For those of you who've watched my older videos for revving the engine and stuff like that, I get a lot of comments asking, what's that whirring noise when you let off the gas? And that's exactly what it is that clutch pulley. The sound is kind of annoying, but the benefits do outweigh the drawbacks of having to listen to that sound. Different alternators will have different pulleys for them. I have the 2006 version of the Bosch, and it uses this INA one, and you can see it's got those splines there. I'll show you the tool for that in a minute. The Valeo alternator uses a different pulley. Just use FCP Euro and put in your car so you can figure out which one to use. There's a special tool you need to remove that. It has this piece which has a spline on one end to go into the pulley, and this is actually what is unscrewing the pulley from the alternator shaft. And this end is a 17mm, but the bit that came with this kit, I think it was CTA tool something, and it said it was for Bosch alternator, but it also had a splined bit that goes through this as well. On mine, it's actually a T50 Torque, so I had to order a separate one. So double check, pop the cap off before you order the tool so you can see which bit you actually need. And as you can see here, this pulley itself is actually threaded, and these splines are what tighten and loosen the pulley from the alternator. And the alternator shaft is free spinning, so you have to counter hold the shaft with your Torx or spline bit, whichever one you have, and then you'll use the splined special tool with the 17mm wrench, and that is actually what you'll be using to unthread the pulley. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is get some PB Blaster and try to get it into the threads on that pulley. And you're going to want a towel underneath it because you don't want PB Blaster to go all over your belt. I did this last night as well, and I'm going to do it again this morning just to kind of get it loosened up, hopefully. Wipe up any PB Blaster that might have dripped a little bit. Really do your best here to catch all of it. You don't want it to contaminate your belt. The next step will be releasing tension on the belt, and you're going to do that by using this T60 bit on the belt tensioner, and you're going to use a bit like this, T60. You use a bit of a bigger ratchet for more leverage. And just turn that to the right and pop the belt off of the pulley. Obviously, if you're not supercharged, you won't have that pulley there. For my setup, it's easiest for me just to pull that off first, but same concept, pull it off of a pulley so that you have slack in the belt, and then you can pull it off the alternator pulley. While you have that belt off, check all your pulleys down here. Check your tensioner pulley, your idler pulley, power steering pulley, and just make sure there's no excessive play in them. It doesn't make a sound when you spin it. Overall, feels like healthy bearings. If any are gritty, have too much resistance, or make a sound or squeal anything, get those replaced at the same time. If you have a pulley fail on these engines, you can suck a belt into the crank seal and kill your engine, so that's not super cool. You can use a crank seal guard to protect that crank seal just in case it ever does slip or break a belt for whatever reason. But yeah, make sure all those pulleys are in good condition. And I always like to get the I&A brand of pulleys for this car. All right, so I just got my Torx bit in from Amazon that I needed. I got this long guy. It's too long to do it with the radiator fan in, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this radiator fan out to get some more room. All right, now we've got plenty of space. So we're gonna insert that piece first, and we're gonna set the ratchet to on. We're gonna be turning the Torx bit to the right, and we're gonna be loosening the pulley to the left. Alright guys, so I finally broke it loose. I didn't record this part, but it was on there really freaking good. What I ended up doing was using this ratchet to hold the Torx bit, and I pushed that one to the right, and then I put the wrench on and I slipped the other end through my jack handle, and I just, pull them apart from each other. But I would definitely recommend having two people to do this if yours is stuck on there really good, because you're putting a lot of force and you might bust a knuckle. So just for visual purposes, this wrench is going to the left and this ratchet is going to the right. I was super close to pulling the entire supercharger and alternator and just blasting it with an impact, but luckily it did come loose eventually. And there it is. Well, I've got that pulley off. I'm gonna clean up these threads on the shaft a little bit. There's some rust on there. Now to install, we're just gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna slide the pulley on over that shaft and counter hold it, and we're gonna tighten that pulley to the right. All right guys, I forgot to record a couple of things, but here is the new alternator pulley. I actually messed up and I ordered the Bosch specific pulley, thinking that I had a Bosch alternator, but I have a Vallejo alternator. Here's the Vallejo pulley, and the main difference that I could tell was that it has this spacer beneath it. When I try to tighten down the Bosch pulley onto the Vallejo alternator, it would bottom out and I couldn't tighten it down all the way. So ended up ordering the correct pulley, and that's it. I don't have any more vibration at idle now, and no weird noises, so happy with how that came out for about 30 bucks. Just be careful when you're breaking the pulley loose. It does take a ton of force, and it would be way easier if you have two people to tackle this with. Thanks for watching.